Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is this strange sunspot that's shaped in a triangle, and it's actually much bigger than planet Earth. Also have this old CNN clip of this guy here talking to Larry King about a missile test launch that they conducted where a UFO came and took the missile out. This is a video about these guys that are just hunting around in caves, and they came across these elongated skulls. Got this video from Reddit of just some strange lights spinning in the sky. And this is the radio chatter from a UFO incident that occurred at Edwards Air Force Base in 1965. And then I also have this document here, which is part of a larger document talking about the different layers of Earth and talking about the ice caps. And it's actually just a clip of a larger document here called The Adam and Eve Story by Chan Thomas. And this is something that was recently declassified by the CIA. And it's supposed to be, the story of our planet and, what happened, after the cataclysm, the great floods, and how we as a species came about. Again, this was, something that somehow the CIA figured this all out, and it was top secret at once. Also have this story here of this human mutilation, an alien autopsy that took place. This is considered one of the most gruesome human mutilation incidents ever found. And it was probably conducted by some kind of a robot or a machine. But anyways, take a look at that. And then last is this 1971 Penang military base, another UFO encounter. Anyways, let's check out this video here. Now, I don't think this is a craft. I think this is just a, an odd-shaped sunspot. But anyways, check this out here.
Has been confirmed. The triangle for a few moments changes its shape as the sun revolves around its axis. The experts compared the object with an image of the Earth, showing the huge triangle is surprisingly large as our planet. During the alarming solar energy explosion, NASA's SDO solar monitoring cameras took advantage of the incredible presence of a huge triangular object that was on one side of the sun, something incredible to believe and see. According to the Swiss physicist Nassim Haramein, creating a black hole or a sunspot in the sun in turn creates a singular event, a window opening or space-time. Extraterrestrial civilizations who want advanced access to our solar system, with large black holes, they can do so by using only the portal of our sun creating a singular event. This is an explanation for the presence of huge alien ships in the sun, especially when you create these sunspots.
Yeah, I think that's just a sunspot that just happens to take that shape. I don't think like a port or anything like that. I mean, although, I think that the sun is definitely being used for things like that. I just think this is some type of natural phenomenon. But anyways, a link will be in the description. Okay, now this is a very interesting clip that was aired on CNN several years ago. And I think it's this guy here, Bob Jacobs, but he was a part of a film crew that was responsible for taping or getting footage of this missile test. But anyways, check out the story that he tells here about this UFO that came and took out the missile.
Recognized it as the film that we'd shot at Big Sur the previous day. Toward the end of the flight, I was looking at Major Man saying, "Pretty good stuff, huh, sir?" And suddenly he said, "Just watch this." And as I watched, the warhead, the dummy warhead, the chaff that was put out in front of it as the decoy to deflect the Russian anti-missile tracking radar, everything was flying along, and suddenly, in the same direction this stuff was flying at about 8,000 miles an hour, an object came into the frame, shot a beam of light at the warhead, flew up to the top, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew around the direction it was flying, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew down, shot another beam of light at the warhead, and flew out the same way it came in.
The U.S. government does not obviously appreciate people such as myself and these gentlemen speaking out about this.
Anyways, that's that. So, this stuff about disclosure, people have been disclosing for several years, and you don't need the government to tell you that there's strange crafts flying around our planet. Anyways, let's see. Let's check out this video here. Now, this is a long video. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but anyways, check out this part here where it talks about these elongated skulls that these guys find. But here they show him how how they get to the place. And these guys are just, some dudes on a hike. But anyways, let's see. Let's check out this video here.
Completamente alargado. Miren eso. Simplemente miren esto. Aquí conserva unos cuantos dientes, parte del tejido. Y esto... Wow. Esto es increíble. Creo que esto es parte de las trepanaciones craneanas que hacían antiguamente. Creo yo, ¿no? No estoy seguro.
I think the guy's talking about trepanation or something like that. But I guess this would indicate that he had surgery done on him.
Miren, el cráneo tiene fisuras. Sin duda, este es un sorprendente hallazgo. Estoy impactado, de verdad, me quedo sin palabras. Chequen, miren, eso, lo que está agarrando John, es parte de la cadera. Wow, es increíble. Incluso tiene los tejidos ahí.
Anyways, that's that. What I find interesting is that, these bones do exist. This species, this Homo capensis species, did exist because here, look at all of these skulls here. That this guy's, look at all of this stuff. Anyways, yeah, we know that this species Homo capensis, they did exist, but it's interesting that none of the academics will acknowledge it. You don't see them in any of the human evolution timelines, when or even like any mention of like Nefertiti. Again, we know that she had elongated skulls, but I find it interesting that the quacks will not acknowledge it in any of their textbooks. Anyways, link to this will be in the description. This is just a kind of an interesting footage. I have no idea what's going on here. But anyways, check this out.
What? Come here, come here, come here. Wow.
Yeah. Here you go.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're out here. There's more.
Very strange. I have no explanation for that. Anyways, a link to that will be in the description. Let's go to this one here. Now, this one here is 47 minutes of radio chatter between, I think they're like police officers or the military police and air traffic control, talking about these UFOs that came across this base.
We'd like to use information from 28th. We also have some height line cuts from anywhere from 3,000 up to 13. They're moving slowly and climbing slowly. They're red, white, and green flashing lights. And they have been confirmed on radar. We can't use one of your alert birds, but do you have another 106? Oh, that's all we have. That's all you have. That's all we have is the 6 on alert. Okay, just a moment. I'll let you speak to the senior director. Maybe I can go ahead and use one of your alert birds. They can't establish what these things are. Yeah, just a second. Yes. Okay, so they're still trying to decide what to do. You say you might have one? Well, Sergeant McCarty said we had one on greater than 1 hour, but I believe that's just because we don't have a pilot here for us. Oh, I see. But I'm pretty sure they're all uploaded. Yeah. He's checking that out, the ground crew now. Okay. If they do download, then we could take one. If not, then we'd have to have authentication on the scramble with the weapon board. Yeah. Okay. Major Super, this one is to call you the SD here and let you know. And I'll tell you, I'll call you back in a minute, or in a few minutes. Okay. What how can I reach you? Just call the hot room again. Okay. And they'll get back to you in a bit.
You know, they don't mention in this part, but they do talk about, one of the guy talks about reporting to the UFO officer. So, you know, if there was a specific UFO officer, I'd have to imagine that there were multiple reports of these UFOs, and that there was, you know, a point person that was assigned to receive, you know, all of these reports. But yeah, this is 47 minutes long. I actually haven't had a chance to listen to the entire thing, but very interesting, you know, because this is stuff that would have been considered top secret at the time it came out. And, you know, here it is over 50 years later. And, you know, a schmo like me has an opportunity to just listen to these conversations that are taking place about a UFO encounter over a military base, a U.S. military base. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Let's see. Yeah, now this is just one small section of a larger document here. I believe it's from here, the Adam and Eve story. But in this section here, it talks about, you know, how the Earth is constructed. Now both molten layers are liquid. However, the intermagnetic and electrical structures of the Earth makes these layers act as if they were near solid or plastic. As long as the magnetic and electrical structures maintains its orderliness, this old Earth keeps on rotating on its axis in a normal manner. So anyways, this part is actually just one small section of this, I believe. Now, this is, you know, from the CIA.gov website. It's called The Adam and Eve Story by Chan Thomas. But this is, you know, supposedly an explanation. And I believe this was given to them by maybe an alien race. Talks about the next cataclysm, the great floods. But again, you know, this is something that at one time was considered top secret, only accessible to, you know, certain individuals. And now here we are. This stuff is just out on the internet. You know, people are disclosing the great floods. So yeah, we know the great floods occurred. You know, not necessarily the biblical version of the floods. But we know that there were meteors that impacted the Earth, the Chicxulub, and the northern one, and the northern ice caps. You know, you can also see the evidence on the planet that you know, large bodies of water rushed over certain parts of the planet. I think that's what created like the scab lands around Washington State, and even in Africa around that the Reichardt structure. You can see, you know, where large bodies of water came in through there, salt water, because there's a salt residue up there still. But anyways, this is an interesting document. Definitely check it out. Link will be in the description. And let's see. Yeah, now this one here, this is pretty gruesome. There's some photos that come with it, and very gruesome photos. So, you know, if you can't handle this, be warned. This is considered the most gruesome human mutilation. And, you know, if you read through it, they think that this had to have been done by a machine or a robot because of the you know, the robotic or, you know, inhumane manner in which it was done. Because this guy, he essentially died of a heart attack from pain. And yeah, see here, here, I'm going to warn you, these are going to be some gruesome photos. Yeah, you can see here where his jaw was cut out, very similar to cattle. The holes in the skin, again, very similar to, what happens to cattle. And here in this photo here, they said that his entire rectum was carved out in one, like some machine just went up in there and took his asshole out. So that's why, and they, had no consideration for the pain that this guy went through. So that's why they think that it was done by a machine. But let's see, where does it talk about? Here, photo 1, face and upper torso photo. The body was in perfect condition. Rigor mortis had not set in, and it was estimated that the victim had been killed approximately 48 to 72 hours previously. There were no signs of animal predation or putrefaction, which might be expected. Strangely, there was no odor to the cadaver. Bleeding from the wounds had been minimal. The black coloration found in the face area and in other places within the photo is partly due to low light exposure when this photo and others were taken. It is also partly due to coagulated blood in the wound areas. As can clearly be seen, flesh and lips have been excised around the mandibles, as is common in cattle and other animal mutilations. The autopsy report noted that the eyes and ears were also removed and the mouth cavity was emptied. Removal of these body parts, including the tongue, as here, is common enough in animal mutilation cases. But yeah, this is a long report. It's kind of hard for me to read because the text is so small. But yeah, this notion, that like Greer wants to tell us, oh, it's only good aliens. You can't travel into space unless you're a good alien. Yeah, there's no good aliens doing this to humans or, even to cattle, because I'm sure, whatever they're doing to the cattle, they're doing to the cattle alive too, because they said that they think that the cattle experiences immense amounts of pain, it seems like. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Definitely check it out. Now, last is this another case of these UFOs checking out our military again, and that's why I don't think it's they're all like this notion that they're coming from the future or from other dimensions. I think they're monitoring our military and nuclear bases because they're concerned with us blowing up the planet that we share with them. Anyways, the UFO 1971 Penny military base made up of the Air Surveillance Squadron, first-line combat unit of the Air Force, depending on the Spanish Ministry of Defense. It has a radar that is a part of the state network and is integrated into the defense system of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. At 10:30 p.m. on March 25, 1971, Jesus Joffre, along with 2 soldiers from his battalion, spotted a greenish light. When this light disappeared, they began to hear footsteps approaching along the same path that the dogs indicated by barking. A few seconds later, they saw with horror how a strange being more than 2 meters high approached them. As they tried to stop the humanoid, their nerves took over. The strange being ignored the stop signs, and the soldiers decided to shoot without getting the strange being to stop. Thanks to the glare of the shots, Jesus Joffre was able to see that he was wearing a belt with an inverted triangle. After verifying that the bullets did not do any damage to the strange creature, they watched as it moved away. Shortly after, from the base's radars, it was possible to see how an unidentified flying object was moving away from where they were. The incident is still considered a reserved matter by the Spanish Ministry of Defense. Yeah, wherever this thing went back to, it didn't go back to the future. It just probably went back underwater, because we're not alone on the planet. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.